Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So me and my girlfriend met online. I grew up in Michigan. She lived in Tennessee. And when we had initially started dating, I told her I'm not just going to cave and move to Tennessee. I don't want you to just cave and go to Michigan. We'll kind of try each state out and, make a decision from there. And she mentioned that her family has about 40 acres of land in Tennessee. And, I like Tennessee. It's not my favorite place in the world, but, it's not a bad spot. And she mentioned that her mom gives everybody, an acre of land when the relationship starts to get serious. And, we've been dating just under 2 years now. The problem is recently, her mom has been interjecting herself into our relationship, trying to make decisions for us, kind of going behind my back and essentially kind of trying to convince my girlfriend, not necessarily to dump me, but questioning every decision I make. And, it's gotten to the point where, she's butting in our finances and she's kind of weaponizing that and saying, hey, I'm not going to give you this acre of land. I don't like the way you do this or the way you do that. And when me and my girlfriend talked about it recently, I just kind of said, ultimately, if that's how it's going to be, I don't know if we want it. Like, I don't like, starting such a major decision, especially when we're building a house or buying a house somewhere under an ultimatum, given how expensive that is.
How old are you?
So I'm about 25 years old. I just turned 25. And
what do you do for a living?
I'm a DevOps engineer.
And how much do you make?
I make about six figures, and my girlfriend makes about $60,000 a year.
So, what have you done that made this lady dislike you or think that you're not good for her daughter?
So when I moved here initially, so I work from home, right? And that's the only reason I was able to move freely. The problem is where we live in Tennessee, our local tech store is about an hour away. So her big thing is I buy stuff on Amazon a lot. Like it'll be a cable for my computer, it'll be a thing for my desk, or even a lot of stuff.
Wait a minute. Very few women would keep their daughter from marrying a young man that they like dearly because he buys stuff on Amazon. I asked what you did that caused this woman to think that you're not good enough for her daughter. And buying stuff on Amazon is not the answer, dude. Really. What's the real answer?
In her mind, she sees the purchases and thinks that I make irresponsible financial decisions. I mean, I'm not even making that part up. In her mind, she sees the purchases. I've told her I make good money. I've told her, I balance my finances. And I've told her, since me and my girlfriend have started dating, we've been planning for this house and for the build. And we've been kind of making sure our credit looks good so we can get a mortgage or a construction loan. I mean,
planning to build on her land?
The land that she's going to give them, the 1 acre that she's going to give them. Okay. So, there's a couple things here. Number one, you should never buy a house or build a house ever with someone that you're not married to. So your plan that you've been doing sucks. Okay. So you need a new plan. It's like, I'm going to make you my wife, and then we're going to talk about building a house. Not we're going to talk about building a house, and then I'll make you my wife. Now, that isn't what you've been saying. You've been saying the words coming out of your mouth were shack up, shack up, shack up, shack up, shack up.
She's meddling with our finances.
And we don't have an our finances. There's not one because you're not married. There's a your finances and her finances.
Well, yes, I understand what you're saying, but the end goal, like when we envision the house, obviously we were talking about marriage. We've already kind of envisioned that, we've had that conversation that, end of next year, that was kind of my goal was to propose. And after we, if
you are going to get married and then build a house, it's real simple.
Yeah.
It's real simple. Just build it somewhere else. 1 acre of land in the area you're talking about in the middle of nowhere, Tennessee, is not that big a deal. Whoop-de-doop-de. Thank you for the gift, but we'll pass. We think we're going to be better able to love you from a distance.
That's true love. I mean, makes our heart grow fonder.
I understand that. That's where my head's at.
That's the only thing you can do. Listen, either this lady has identified a character flaw in you that you're unwilling to discuss, or are so lacking in self-awareness that is there, and she thinks you need to be run off because you're not good for her daughter, or this lady's a nut job. Okay.
No, I'm serious.
Amazon packages on your front porch are not enough reason to run off the boyfriend, potential fiance, son-in-law. That's not enough reason.
Yeah.
It's just not. I agree. If that is truly it, Jacob, and I really have trouble believing that there's actually a human out there that's stupid, but there might be. If there, and you're proclaiming that. So, but having walked through the marriage process with 3 children who have now been married for over 10 years, and before they got to those winners, we ran off a few losers. I might have been accused of being your mother-in-law at some point. But it wasn't because of Amazon packages. It was because of character flaw, or because of, lack of work ethic. That's a character flaw, right? Dishonesty. That's a character flaw, right? Yeah, these are people you don't want to marry and don't want your kids marrying. So if you're not something that is, if you are a young gentleman, a knight of honor that is worthy of the fair maiden's hand, then this woman's a nut job. And you do not want to be living in her backyard on money, on an acre she gave you. There is no circumstance in which that's going to turn out well. Ever. So you have to declare this to be one way or the other. We have to figure out what is really going on with this woman and solve for a quality relationship, or we have to distance ourselves. And it doesn't sound to me like you guys need to be in a backyard.
And you're the boyfriend. And so
you don't need to be doing any of this, because
it's between the mom and the daughter. If there's boundary issues, that's up to the daughter to decide.
Yeah.
So I would have her do that. If she's not defending you and she's just letting you, roll over and take it, this relationship's not going to pan out. Dave just talked about how being misaligned with in-laws is a big reason that marriages don't succeed. And so we're already seeing a huge red flag here.
I 100% recommend parents interfere in their grown children's lives if there is a loser involved and run them off. I 100% recommend that. Because you love them, and you have more wisdom than they do, and you're not all hot and bothered about them. So you're actually seeing them clearly. And so I 100% recommend that. But if they're functional, and this is a good one, not a perfect one, but a good one, let's encourage the union.
He's a smart guy.
Done in proper order, and then try to speak persuasion over the finances if there's something to be persuaded there. If truly the only thing wrong with Jacob is he buys too much stuff on Amazon, or more stuff than she's accustomed to seeing on Amazon, that's a pretty simple thing to process through if someone involved has the relational IQ to do it. But guys, Jacob, she is not violating the boundaries of you guys, of the couple's finances, because the couple doesn't have finances. Her daughter has finances and you have finances. And so if she says something about her daughter's finances, she's perfectly capable of doing that. And her daughter, depending on her age and maturity level, is perfectly capable of setting a boundary with her own mother. And she obviously doesn't get a vote in your finances. But it's when you start talking about this stuff as if you're married and you're not, that my red flags go up. And if I'm mom, I'm running you off. Because you have a bunch of this crap out of order. And I think that might be what's going on here. But Jacob wants to build a house on my land and not be married to my daughter. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go along with that, Mom says.
We need Mom to call in. We got to hear her side of the story here.
Yeah, so that could be what it is, Jacob. But it could be that she's just nuttier than a fruitcake, and you don't need fruitcake near you. And so you just get away from the fruitcake. Just a little distance. It's
a principle I live by.
Distance makes the heart grow fonder. It's like, it takes about a year of marriage to know how close to your mother-in-law to live.
Yeah, she watched. That's
why you don't buy a house in the first year of marriage.
How does she know he's buying all this stuff on Amazon? She's a little too close for comfort. My mother-in-law doesn't know what's showing up at the house. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know what's showing up at your house either, George. So it would scare me probably. I would probably question you.
It's a lot.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.